For 5,000 years, money was a physical reality. It was gold, it was silver, it was copper. It had weight, it had texture, it had a smell. But today, right now, in 2026, 90% of all the money in the world does not exist in the physical world. It is not in a vault. It is not in your wallet. It is data. It is code. It is electricity running through a server you will never see. So the question is, how did we lose the gold and keep the value? To understand where money is going, we have to understand where it came from, and it started with a very simple problem. Before coins, before paper, before banks, people traded directly. You had something I wanted, I had something you wanted. We made a deal. Economists call this the barter system. But barter had a fatal flaw. Imagine I am a cattle farmer. I have 2 cows and I need grain. I walk to the market, but the grain merchant does not want my cow. He wants fish. The fish trader wants pottery. The potter wants cloth, and the cloth weaver has no idea what to do with a cow. Economists gave this problem a name, the double coincidence of wants. For trade to happen, 2 people need to want exactly what the other has at exactly the same time. In a village of 20 people, this works. In a city of 10,000, it breaks down entirely. Humanity's solution was elegant. Find something that everybody already values. Use that as money. We call this commodity money. Cowrie shells were used as currency across Africa, South Asia, and China for over 4,000 years. Salt was so valuable that Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in it, which is where we get the word salary. And on the Pacific island of Yap, they used giant limestone discs, some weighing over 4 tons as their currency. You could not carry it. You did not need to. Everyone in the village simply knew it belonged to you. But commodity money had problems. It was heavy, it was fragile, it rotted, it broke, and most importantly, its value could change. A great harvest meant grain was suddenly worth less. A drought made it worth more. Money whose value fluctuates with the weather is not reliable money. Civilization needed something better. The answer came from a kingdom most people have never heard of, Lydia, a small wealthy state on the western coast of what is now Turkey. Around 600 BC, under the reign of a king named Croesus, a name so associated with wealth that we still say, rich as Croesus, Lydia changed history. King Croesus minted the first standardized coins in history, made from electrum, a natural alloy of gold and silver. Every coin was identical in weight. Every coin bore the royal seal, and that seal meant everything. For the first time, money was not just a material, it was a promise backed by authority. You did not have to weigh the coin and negotiate its value. You trusted it because the king had guaranteed it. This was the invention of monetary trust, and it would underpin every financial system that followed. Coins solved many problems, but they created a new one. Gold is heavy. A merchant carrying enough gold to buy a shipment of silk across China was a target for every bandit on the road. In the 11th century, the Song Dynasty had a remarkable idea. Leave the gold in a vault, take a receipt instead. These receipts, called Jiaozi, were the world's first paper money. They were not money in the traditional sense. They were representative money, a promise that somewhere in a vault, real gold was waiting for you. The paper had no intrinsic value. A bandit who stole it could not eat it, melt it, or wear it. Its value existed entirely in the agreement between people, in trust. This was the moment money became an idea as much as an object, and once that door was opened, it could never be fully closed. By the 1800s, the world had grown into a sprawling network of industry and trade, and it needed a system that every nation could trust equally. The answer was the gold standard. Under the gold standard, every banknote in circulation was legally tied to a fixed quantity of gold held in a national reserve. In Britain, the Bank of England guaranteed it. In America, Fort Knox held the gold. $1 could be exchanged for a precise weight of gold, always, everywhere. For a century, this was the era of what economists called sound money. Governments could not simply print more money. They could only issue as much currency as they had gold to back it. Inflation was low. International trade was predictable. The system had a natural ceiling. But it also had a fatal weakness. Gold is finite. And a growing world, fighting wars, rebuilding from crises, demanding more spending, needed money that could grow with it. On the evening of August 15, 1971, President Richard Nixon appeared on national television and made an announcement that quietly rewired the entire global economy. He suspended the convertibility of the dollar to gold. Just like that, the link was severed. Money was now fiat, from the Latin word meaning "let it be done." The dollar was no longer backed by gold. It was backed by something far more abstract, the full faith and credit of the United States government. In other words, money was now valuable because the government said it was, because we all agreed it was. Within 2 years, every major currency in the world had followed. The gold standard was over. And for the first time in human history, money was entirely untethered from any physical object. It was pure trust, codified into paper. Then came the code. The digital revolution did not change the nature of money, it accelerated its final transformation. In 1950, the first credit card let you spend money you had not yet physically handed over. In 1998, PayPal let you send money across the world in seconds. And then, in 2009, everything changed again. An anonymous creator or group of creators operating under the name Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page document that proposed something radical. Money with no banks, no governments, no intermediaries. Bitcoin was controlled not by a king, not by a president, not by a central bank, but by mathematics. By a transparent public ledger called the blockchain, where every transaction in history was recorded permanently and could be verified by anyone on Earth. For the first time, you could transfer value across the world to anyone without asking anyone's permission. Now, in 2026, we are standing at the edge of the next chapter. Over 130 countries are actively developing or have already launched central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Think of a CBDC as a digital version of cash, but issued directly by a central bank, programmable and trackable. The Bahamas has the sand dollar, Nigeria has the e-naira, China's digital yuan has already processed over $250 billion in transactions. The era of physical cash is not ending overnight, but the trajectory is clear. And this raises the same questions that have haunted money for 5,000 years. Who controls it? Who is trusted to back it? And what happens when that trust breaks down? The evolution is not complete. It is ongoing, and you, right now watching this, are living through one of its most pivotal moments. From a Lydian coin bearing a lion's face to a blockchain entry with no face at all, money did not just change its form, it changed its very nature. From metal to paper to data, it has always been the same thing at its core, a shared agreement, a collective act of faith. The gold was never really the point. The trust was always the point. If this evolution of an idea 5,000 years in the making left you thinking, then subscribe to UnforgottenEvo, because we are just getting started. Every week, we unpack the systems and stories that quietly shaped the world you live in. The next evolution is already happening. Make sure you do not miss it.